Turns out some people need. I hope you find time for sleep as well. And yeah, here we go. Game 1. Jockiichel on blue coin with the Assimilate. Nilfgaard against Danirai Ireland. How is the hand looking? Well, has a Marine. He didn't mulligan yet, so yeah. Calvit is hiding, but he comes from the mulligans. Yeah, you cannot miss him on blue coin. Only chance for Enslave 6 to miss it is... like, you mulligan into Calvit, but yeah, you also get your Torres, Terra Nova, Skellige in Bratans as well in your starting hand.
Yeah.
So, who needs him anyway?
So now this is interesting because you'd love to wait for the Taurus after the temple is played. However, you kind of are struggling for proactivity otherwise. You can, I guess, just play the Marine pretty safely. Which is what we see happening.
Yeah. So, I guess in game you only have 15 cards to choose from. And we see Jockiichel is not spending his luck immediately here, but he must have picked the card that goes on top of the deck after Calvit is played. So yeah, should see the Taurus, Calvit. Oh, alternatively, okay, maybe. What is your best bounce target in the second form? I guess whatever you roll from your bribery.
Yeah, you can also just try to get a like 1 pound Nausicaa from your Vigo, which the only way to shut that down like efficiently is with like a Cintrian Knight for the Northern Realms list. So it puts a bit of pressure on the leader. I guess maybe you're scared of like this Ethereum Merchant, which we do see in hand. Maybe that was why this Calvit was being held out on. So they would be swapping to take over the coup. Although this Marine could be used to target something else, to move something above the coup, and because it went to 5, I think the Vilga Forts was actually targeted. So it should be swapping for the Vilg.
So Trauk, defenders on the menu from the temple. Full test is occasionally crazy good. So yeah, we see the Poultice is actually being picked with the double drown as well. If only there was also a Pavetta to put the Revenants back into the deck and then buff everything with the Ermont.
Yeah, but the Drags can be quite nice in this kind of matchup because there is the Brathans, the Vigo, and the actual spies themselves. So it's possible that quite a few spies will be being played onto Danarai's side, and that makes them quite tasty food for the Revenants to destroy and spawn some extra copies.
For you, my friend, a special offer.
A special offer that you cannot refuse as well.
Also, actually, I believe the Marine keeps ticking.
Yeah,
even
it
though
keeps
the
ticking
Vilgefortz...
because the card is on top of the deck. It doesn't matter where, it doesn't matter why, it doesn't matter if the Marine was stolen by the opposing Nilfgaard enslaved player, for example. So
yeah, as long as it's at the top of the deck, it doesn't matter which deck. Marine is happy to sail any boat. She's a bit more like a pirate in that sense, I suppose.
You can turn it off now with for still 1 point from it if you put Radea on top. And we see... Yeah. Okay, so Danirai still needs points.
Yeah,
Cannot
is
throw...
it just... Is it front row Irisman leader, or do you use the Geralt here?
Okay, yeah, so Iris it is, going for the carryover. But, wait, one leader is not enough, right?
It should be. You'll be ahead by 3, the Marino.
Ah, okay, yeah, it's... I for some reason looked at it as being 33 on the opposite side. But yeah, then it's enough by 1. Could have also... well, taken Vilgefortz out of the deck, I guess. But yeah, interesting mechanic with the Marine. Not really that obvious. We would expect a chicken card on the top of the deck it was in, but no.
And you see this Redanian Knight in the hand of Jockiichel. It does trigger Assimilate, funnily enough, but it is also fine to just play out as a dry pass, so nice to have this cheap bronze to use on the dry pass. Otherwise you might have had to commit like a Mage Torturer or something of the sort, which you'd rather have that kind of engine threat going into this round 3.
Okay, so Shoop deck playing duplicate of 13 provision card. Crazy if you ask me. Double Drauk is present there. I also moved the camera, but your camera, I hope it doesn't book scores. Yeah, she looks fine. And we also don't have the score on the screen. Gonna fix that.
Ooh, Renon's empty board. I wonder if this is gonna be Shoop seized or just Shoop damage. I mean, Shoop seize is kind of fine here. Actually, no, sorry, you don't want to Shoop seize because that just opens up informant abilities or the Brathens and the Vigo. Because if you actually look at how gold heavy this hand is from Danirai, it's very possible that you don't need to play a bronze, and you just don't give a good copy target. Maybe the only target will be the volunteers from the leader.
Yeah, but there is the emissary in the list, so at least you don't have to take it. So, Artorius. Is there anything to border locking? I guess no. So we see another engine.
That feels super greedy when Shoop 3 exists.
Is that what we are seeing? Turning off 2 engines. Rune Mage was played, so that's a guaranteed pickup. And yeah, the mouse that I left on the screen is actually picking the correct option immediately. So a value Shoop.
Do I enjoy torture? Perhaps.
But
A bit.
maybe this was a bait to get a good spine target, so that does give Terra Nova a nice,
Yeah.
what you call it, a target, I guess a thing to spawn. It does put the Q online. And it is a potentially, 15-point unit, so not too shabby.
Yeah. A simulate trigger playing for 15 on its own. You can also double it, but yeah, at least the Q target is turned off immediately.
Yeah, and also notably, Shoop is not a human, so you're not able to use Drow to get the transform a bit earlier onto that. Does force the Curse Knight, and this does give like Brathens a pretty solid target, I'd say. Although you might want to play the Taurus before, because that's not really something you want to be picking up and putting down with the Taurus.
But yeah, we'll see instant
I guess it
buttons developed.
pseudo resets this Cursed Knight, but Yeah. Maybe you'll get a better Taurus target with the Brothans. We'll see.
Here, please. Closer come.
Also, the Rodea actually being boosted already does mean a copy on Semifinal Geralt would get a target. So maybe another possible threat from something like a Bribery. I mean, Bribery should be pretty bad here because this Shoop list plays so many bronzes, so many singleton versions of these bronzes, that it's very unlikely this Bribery actually hits something of value. But we will see. Maybe Jockiichel can get lucky.
Yeah. Of course, a lot of good cards in Danirai's hand. Well, first of all, you don't want Draug on your engines anyway, but quite a few cards there are created by the temple and stolen by the merchants. So some of the good stuff Danirai can play is actually not available. Okay, the Shoop decides to hit a 1 and a 2. Not really great in terms of picking targets. At least it doesn't hit Radea, but
yeah, it's not the worst though, because the Draugs would have kind of damaged those low power units anyways. So it doesn't hurt as bad with these two Draugs sitting in Danirai's hand. But it's also, this feels like a really bad Taurus though, because
A duel! To a duel I challenge thee!
this has such a bad deplay, this Cursed Knight. Yeah.
So, there you go for your bribery. So Radovid is not refreshing your leader ability, and Slave would have taken it immediately. If only you can just get another charge or two of the Slave.
Yes, that would be a little bit busted.
Just a tad. Nothing the Gwentfinity Balance Council couldn't fix. So, yeah, a few humans on the front row ready for the Draug, although the Revenants don't really have a good target at the moment to gnome on and create even more Revenants.
Yeah.
Everything is at 6 and above. Gonna be buffing a little bit as well. A couple of
There's
engines.
also, when this Vilgefortz is used though, it will be summoning a 1 power Disloyal Spike, well, kind of staying in the Nilfgaardian side this time I suppose, and that does provide quite a nice target for the Kedoni Revenants here. So.
Never bend, never kneel.
Yeah. Cursed archetype, totally playable, look. 3 cursed units on the Nilfgaard side, double Draug in Danirai's hand.
And this coup is looking really sketchy, because even if you're able to set up the damage coup with like the Stefan here, everything on this front row is just going to be transformed by a Draug. So yeah, this coup really isn't going to end up hitting anything of value. I guess you can hit a Cursed Knight, but that's kind of whatever. And also not setting up a leader very well.
Yeah.
I feel like that last Stefan Ace up the sleeve should have gone onto that 8 power Cursed Knight. Set it up to 6, set up your leader. Because right now your leader's just not looking very good at all.
Yeah. Daniel decides that 1 Draug is enough, but we have an early forfeit here, and Daniel takes it. Yeah, between lacking a good leader target, lacking a good coup target, and all the things. Jockiichel decides to interrupt this game number 1. Maybe considering all the matchups potential here.
Also,
Maybe knowing that
might
they
be a
take...
bit scared of the kind of assimilate matchup for the formation as well. Like running Ramon's and Nausicaas into assimilate is not a good feeling.
Yeah.
And the bribery too, yeah, like it can be a pretty tough matchup. So I don't think Skellige is necessarily that great either, particularly with this Siegfried not achieving much at all. But yeah, we'll see. It's maybe a bit less bad, but still I think it's a bit unfavored.
There are no locks, right? Yeah. So Sigrid is not doing much. We see him going into the graveyard immediately. Yeah. Not even bothering with keeping him in the deck for just avoiding. It feels like a brick, looks like a brick, into the graveyard it goes.
Yep.
It was nice knowing he has Siegfried next time.
Okay. Goes for the aggressive play with the KO Troll here. And with the Dwim, this makes sense, I'd say. And this is a very, very god-heavy hand. And some of the things here, like this Barification and Sigrid is right, aren't really playable right now. Maybe you can use the Barification after you click the location you used to Dwim up, but yeah.
Going for
So leaders use that
charge.
just to get the extra Bloodthirst on the Drakar, then sets up the K-Troll to duel using the Martyrum.
So feels like he can spare leader charges. Not risking Soph. Break-in. So yeah, a couple of tactics in Jockiichel's hand. How is bribery looking in this matchup? You can get potentially like a Knut Sigvald combo, but he missed Taurus.
Yeah. Bribery should at least hit one pretty solid gold, I'd say.
And yeah, he missed Taurus, but both Knut and Sigvald are in hand as well, so your targets for it would have been just the point value. Most good stuff was already found, and you also are not running Anglim. Jockiichel is not running that, so Gwentfinity wouldn't be. But we see Gwentfinity, two of them already on the board.
Yeah, that's probably one of the better pulls you could have gotten there for Jockiichel. And now, I don't know what you do as Danirai. You have this location order, but it's not really achieving much in the current board state, not much you actually want to answer. So I guess you can just play the Sigvald. And
if I insert a leader
get Spy
here,
on it.
what then?
Yeah, so between bribery, our thought leader, all this can amass to a Skellige board from the Nilfgaard in round 3, if we ever reach in round 3, of course. We see that the clash has been used, so location is done for the day. And it looks like the point gap was created so that Jockiichel is not getting there in one card anymore, not applying enough pressure.
And yeah, even if you do play like one more card here, I mean, maybe there's an argument to pass now, the Taurus would still catch up anyways if it was in hand. But if it was in hand, you probably would expect it before the cavalry anyway, so there's a bit of that kind of mind games going on. You can also take the verification, and that should, I think, just out temper whatever Jockiichel plays here and force the pass regardless. So I don't see this round going too much longer.
And it pass. Pass that was from Jockiichel, so Danirai had to commit Sigvald Knut here. The location was... everything was used because of the Vilgefortz pulley in the second beam as well. So
Yeah.
no interaction with that anymore. But still has Soulblood, so Sigrid was right.
Yeah, and like Svarblood tends to be a lot better at like defending a bleed, because he does better, right, when the opponent's board is more developed than your board, when you're just damaging and nuking everything that there is on the board. So it can be a little bit awkward if you are the one deciding to bleed, but that is what you have to do here when the opponent has so many assimilate engines and you've used up so much of your control tools already.
Oh. This is an empty board situation. Of course, you kind of know what's coming. Will we see offensive Martyrum if Marine is taken there?
Not on this ship.
Like, this is where you probably would have preferred to have your Svarblood totem on board already, because Svarblood would be able to clean these up, but currently not quite able to do that. Instead, you take the totem this turn, but like say a obsidian mirror here
Yeah.
that was actually kept. Like, here's the thing, Brathens would be really good here because it would ensure that all your assimilates get out of range of the blob. Whereas here, your Vigo and your Marine do actually end up dying to a blob. And you also do make your board wide enough that this blob would immediately spawn another Bear Abomination. So, look, I understand why you take the Obsidian Mirror there, but it does kind of just result in all your engines just getting killed off here. So, yeah.
So you're left with 4 points after, 13-point Obsidian Mirror. And besides that, 2 of your engines also died. I like how Matol... Matol is organizing the tournament just to spam Block Chan in chat. Every time Block lands, we get one.
Yeah. Matol's goals are just beyond our comprehension. But yeah, and here's a bit of the problem here I have with this bleed, that you're just not able to sustain a good enough point gap, and the fact that you're going first kind of forces you to give the opponent good targets to copy or enslave, and it's quite easy now for the assimilate to just keep the lead. And I think, like, you're kind of seeing here why this is such a rough matchup for the Skellige, particularly if the assimilate player is playing quite well. They could play such a slow Obsidian Mirror and still be able to catch up and, yeah, secure the card advantage right now. So I'm a bit curious why you wouldn't sort of at least play like the Martyrum here to keep the round going a bit more, basically just try to value trade. I guess knowing there's the coup would just be used anyways. It has Echo, so you're not really achieving much at that point. But yeah.
Okay, so around 3 Maxi, I'll have to see that. Heatwave available for Moneromancy.
Ready to board.
Hello,
And we
Marine.
see the Imperial Marine not boosting self.
Drink with our forefathers!
But I guess there is no rush for that. Unless Buchort is getting used to it.
Yeah, which you could do, but it's a little like rough because there's still a heat wave
Yeah.
in Danarai's list.
And you're basically given the 9 points. I guess any of those simulate engines is buffing more or less to the same value, so makes no difference.
Nausicaa! Charge!
And yeah, the Marine is at 6, might be just slashed. Which we see Danirai not really. I guess that was his intention. Either get a
Yeah,
heat
so-
wave value or just the gutting slash that was all activated with the sirens on board.
Yeah. So yeah, with the leader gone and the Vilgefortz gone, as Puzzle is mentioning, there is no answer now for Sigvald. So with this Martyrum and basically just the Martyrum that and I guess the Totem, there's the only tools which really help you play into the Sigvald. Maybe just use the Sigvald to finish off a Raging Bear from the serve. That seems like the most likely use here. Because it kind of doesn't feel great using Totem on the Sigvald when it could be being used on the Drakar anyways. And, I'm curious what Ku will actually get as a target here. There's no Mage Torture to set it up. You have limited damage when it comes to the Stefan. Like it might only sort of see a Maxi as like a possible thing you can damage down into Ku range.
Okay, so our torch goes boom. We've seen some extraordinary Svolbloods in the previous iteration of Winner Takes All. This one is kind of boring. Just goes
No, only
boom.
one blob. It's such a shame.
So yeah, if you haven't seen that clip, it's somewhere on the Lemon's channel. Pepe Smile. Yeah, provided us with a great entertainment there.
So you still have the Bloodthirst too, because the Svalbard damaged itself from serve down. And yeah, as mentioned, you're probably needing to use a Sigvald here to finish off the Raging Bear from the serve. Just curious to see what this Neomancy will find. Would you rather like Heat Wave something? Go for another Martyr with the Sigvald? I'm not sure.
There is no marked wrong, right? Yeah, both of them are used
Oh,
up
one was already
already,
played.
so there is a heat
Yep.
wave
Okay.
and then soak targets. So what is Torres doing?
Torres probably is just replaying a blob right now.
Yeah, that doesn't feel amazing. You're going
not
for
the worst.
multiple blobs.
Yeah. You could also just get a 1 point reset on the serve,
Yeah.
but yeah.
So yeah, this totem I know, I love the totem resilience rework quite a lot, being
Yeah.
this extra tool, activating some lines for the archetype that maybe was underperforming a bit at times,
And now what should worry to you?
if I remember
think-
the chronology of those changes correctly.
Yeah, Totem is also, I think, kind of a bit underrated at how much it just helps this deck tick. Like between the Drakars, the Canute, and obviously the Blob itself, the Totem really just helps you set up all the kind of shenanigans that you need to do.
Yeah, so people who started Gwent like quite recently don't even remember that you can only damage adjacent stuff, that it was like the favorite thing of Nilfgaard to put spice next to the totem. Yeah, here we have it. I guess it's decent valuable of some replay. You get another fanatic, you damage armor on the sergeant anyway.
I wonder, there's a few lines you could take here. Stefan is what, 8 damage, right?
Yes.
Okay, the Onyov would be set up regardless here. Because these blobs have actually done enough damage now for the Stefan to set up a coup onto Onyov.
Okay.
So Heatwave onto Blob now. Interesting.
Dang. Yeah, what? He has the 4-point units, okay. But he has yeah, offensive signal anyway.
inevitable, merely a matter of...
Yeah, it's more so the Blob would have
Yeah.
spawned another 4-point bear with the Stefan, I guess.
Yeah, I guess it was a consideration. Yep.
But yeah, but then like now you're like looking back, you're like, well, I probably should have heatwaved the Blob a turn earlier to deny this Taurus and make this Taurus just really, really bad. So now I guess you have to just kill the Onyov with the Sigvald to deny this coup and play a back row serve because you're not getting a kill. But does that even put you ahead of coup right now?
Does
Maybe.
it? Well, the map will be done. We see that Sophus played
okay.
front row anyway, so the line is not being taken. But there was a 20-point gap, and this suggested line wouldn't really amass to it. But neither does
This
this
still does.
move. So yeah, Jockiichel takes it. Skellige couldn't win in this unfavored situation.
I think it might have even still have just been more points not to take the melee serve, just because like you're giving the opponent points, but then you're sort of not really getting them back because you're losing the points on Sigwood by taking the damage, and yeah. It was pretty tough there for Skellige though, regardless. And then you could run different sort of tournaments and leagues with like kind of slightly different
Yeah.
versions, see how they each play out, but alas, maybe
Maybe when
In like
Matol
a decade if we see
buys it
resurgence.
out.
yes.
Okay, so game 3, both players took a game, and now this is still not a decider because we're playing best of 5 series, so still 2 wins needed for either of the players. Schirru Harmony against well, the same Skellige that we just seen in action from Danirai.
So there's a quite interesting interaction here with the Saskia having immunity and the Sigvald being able to purify it.
Yeah.
Which could end up creating kill on the Saskia, but I don't even really know how you end up dealing 4 damage with how Danarai's hand is looking right now. Yeah, I mean, unless you commit Canute or Location,
Yeah,
but those are kind of significant to commit.
let's start
Okay,
with
let's-
how do you answer this?
Full leader Canute,
And-
it's the only way. And,
Here we go.
you need to do this. If the opponent gets the Dana ticking throughout this round, that's just way too much carryover. So forces this early leader.
Been a while since I seen this line taken, because Harmony wasn't really, or Dana wasn't really played. So yeah.
Let's hurry.
Okay, now to this
Green horror.
Saskia landing on the back row.
So lovely Raging Bear to set up the Knut, and this plays very nicely with the Siegfried next turn because that Raging Bear can be damaged to finish off the Saskia.
Anything Joski can do with this Knut?
You could move it and Schirru, but otherwise you don't really have a great way to answer.
You don't have, yeah, Milway in this one, so that works, but that seems to be not ideal considering you have
also,
four
wait, no.
point units on your side of the board.
Yes, I may have missed that.
But theoretically, you can.
Yes.
So here we have it.
Peasant, noble, or even richer.
And the nice thing with the Siegfried as well, not only do you get rid of that immunity as we mentioned, but the Anyof now goes to graveyard, so now you get a 13-point right target, which is
Come on.
pretty great.
The wood.
So that's 2 14 provision cards answered in the first 3 turns by Danirai. Cost you a leader. But other than that, would be, well, happy with your achievement. Otherwise, it just rolls over you.
Problem is, though, there's already like a bit of harmony on board. Like I guess we're only 2 harmony units right now, and a couple 6s. So there's like a potential. Oh well, no, Schirru's at 4, so Schirru wouldn't be able to get a whole lot of value right now. Yeah.
Fill our hearts with wrath.
Yeah, right. There's a pass now for the square. I wonder if they do take it. Yeah.
And they don't. Not really pondering on it any longer than a couple of seconds it takes you to mouse over the pass button. I guess Jockiichel was ready for it. So that is what, Maxi, right? Yeah, Maxi is enough here.
And I think we're in another situation where the Skellige is basically forced to bleed. I don't think you can go long round against this scenario. Especially when like you don't have your purify is gone. There's no like additional pillar in this list, so poisons basically mark whatever unit they go onto for death. There is like no way to deal with the poisons. Although in saying that, Sigvald Order does technically purify himself, which does mean that poisoning Sigvald can be a little bit of a struggle.
Karim in chat says that Block wins long round. Does it win without without the leader? I guess no other things were committed. Knut is basically just Sigrifa's target. I don't know. You should.
Yeah.
You,
Maybe it does.
you should be pretty tight with your plays. Otherwise, I can see the Skellige struggling dealing with all the threats.
Yeah. Like no matter what, I'm pretty sure you just play your location here. And maybe it is correct to just go a long round, you heat wave the scenario. I think that is the heat wave here. And then just try to rely on Blob in the long round.
My name? I don't recall.
I wonder, how do you deal with Blob as Jockiichel here? You do have the Similis, which can deal a bit of damage, and depending how damage the Blob does go, potentially finish it off. And yeah.
Okay, so there is still a totem standing in memory of those fanatics.
Yeah, or maybe you should have just gone long round to force the chapter 1 on the scenario. which means this Schirru would have been boosted above 4 and not able to actually kill those bears. But goodbye bears. Goodbye Antherian. Board is being controlled down quite a bit. And doing setting up a K troll to try to kill something else off. And if you're actually able to use the armor given from the K troll to trigger the barricade on the Drakar, it's a pretty nice kind of interaction. Actually trigger the expose potentially multiple times in a turn.
So
Yeah,
how scared is Joski about this?
I don't think too scared. You can just poison the Drakar and chill.
Yeah.
Daisies stand tall, dead
Basically just drop in your worst card anyway.
Your worst card from hand can kill their best card on board here, basically.
So that doesn't cost too much in terms of trading.
I don't even know how scared you are. You can just kind of slow play with the suckers.
Even Purify. Is there a situation where you slow play? And I don't think with Seamless and Leaders there is a situation where Skellige surprise tempos and you are struggling to catch up without this scenario. Like if Seamless wasn't there, maybe somehow. With the location, with Soul, with the clash on the beast.
The serve is like a lot less scary though, with this K troll needing to be used to actually trigger the serve. Serve really is, I think, just 12 points, even if you end up like using the K troll with it. Because you could have, just used the K troll on something else to get actual damage rather than summoning an extra beast and then having to damage it with the K troll. Instead you see a Sigvald. With the poisons already gone, you feel safe enough that you can sort of develop onto the Sigvald. You can go Toll, get a, I guess, clash with the Willow. Doesn't feel great, so you just delay a little bit, see if anything just goes a bit taller. Ironically here, you want the opponent's unit to be as big as possible to get more bleeding onto the Sigvald.
Yeah, but 9 is the best you get. Alternatively, and the Whipping Willow pet is also there.
Yeah.
Being moved between the rooms. So,
do you still commit the... I guess you commit the K-Trod still?
the points are growing. But yeah... So... There is a Chameleon 1.3 set plus the engine ping tick.
Yeah, this Chameleon is quite threatening right
I
now.
think Danirai gonna click on the... Ah, okay. This way. Does it this way... Offensive.
I mean, Simless just catches up easy, so now you're a card down, leader down. You're still playing into a scenario and a bird finisher.
Okay, this archer doesn't have a clean target, so we actually see the BMI
Death awaits us all.
double. That's some elite forces summoned on the back row here, and just finding that one Gwent, hunting down that one Gwent. I guess was stealing Scoia'tael's ship.
I don't even know, like, even though you have this location on board, are you even able to trigger a serve right now? Because you need to have a unit big enough to actually, and not immune to finish off whatever the serve is trying to kill.
This Martyr is not helping you with that job? Okay.
Okay, you get a 6 Reefus right. That's kinda good.
There are still poisons, so that Sigvald needs to be clicked immediately, or whatever you're bringing is yeah, going to get. Oh wait.
Still heat waves this scenario.
So,
Like,
okay,
it's just
let's
such a bad
zoom in. Zoom through.
yeah, like this scenario trades up 9 points to the heat wave, and when you're already like a card down, it's just brutal. Absolutely brutal.
The goddess protect you from all evil.
So I'm taking Sigvald here, but you cannot clash with the
Yeah.
anything if you want
Might
to
just
solve
be the
go
Onyo.
through. So might just go for the tallest thing.
I really doubt it. Maybe Onyo, Serve, and Clash could be enough points.
There is a leader still, although the ranger is just playing for
I wonder.
6.
Leave while you still stand.
This Percival, like, you could have just clashed there, because this Percival is growing up to 9 points. Whereas, like, I seriously think it was more points to just clash the Percival here and play Serve back row. Because, like, yes, this Serve is kind of 24 points, but you also give the opponent an extra 6-point unit as well, but yeah.
Okay, so next time you might want to try the either all-in push, but with leader charges, I guess in round 2 Jockiichel would have just recovered anyway. Okay, and now Jockiichel has only one deck to win with, the Pirates.
Yeah.
Skellige.
Saw this matchup previously, and I think this went pretty decently for Nilfgaard.
Yeah. Might have been yesterday, right? Oh no, wait. This deck was played
day one.
not yesterday, day 1, yeah.
I think was that the Nilfgaard with was it in this tournament there was like a interesting Nilfgaard list without Marines and light cavalries?
Yeah.
I can't remember.
Yeah, it might have been, but now we have the Marines. What was banned? Yeah, Simulate wasn't banned, so I guess it was Fire Snail then?
Maybe, yeah.
Put it. But okay, so we are into this game and already see Rune Mage being played as a proactive play, finds something you can place between your soldiers if you wish, and start clicking. But the weather is getting worse in Nilfgaard, so a bit of fog. So and also fog only on to the front row.
The Emperor shall be proud of his sons.
So the soldiers are going back row for some extra armor. Might be good against the pinging boats. As far as the hand state, we see the terror is growing, but Justian and Bjorn were both missed for Jockiichel.
We go where the Empire has not yet reached.
Do we have a leader charge it? Yes, that's the delay. Yeah. Could also move the machine between the soldiers.
Yeah, I wonder if Pirates would have preferred to try to contest this round a little bit more. Normally, to try to like lessen the potential round 2 bleed with like the Renfri. Sorry, with the Triss.
Your magic can't
But I guess
hurt me.
also the Renfri.
No magic
But
can.
this is not really a hand that Jockiichel can really stick around with. This verification is useless. I don't think you want to play either artifact right now. So, yeah, and you're also playing into so many engines. I think this is basically just let Danirai play his engines right now, and then try to just blob and defend the bleed.
Yeah, so insta pass here, not trying to maybe get an extra engine out of Danirai, but with 3 of them already on the board, anything goes with this point gap. So, okay, that's a decent pickup in the Renfri gang. Renfri is already in hand, so of course, yeah, there is somewhere Iris and Iris's companion, and Danirai might have wanted to drop round 1 if he had a chance. There she
Mars
is.
the Blightmaker, because it's just not very good into the Swarblood here. But a Mage Assassin is even worse.
Hey, Mage Assassin at least converts 2 points onto your opponent's side of the board.
I mean, the Blightmaker does anyways.
Yeah, but
You can target it now.
yeah, you can target it and not waste it somewhere.
Like, I'm pretty sure this, at least if I'm guessing, this bleed is probably going to develop up until the point Totem gets played, and then you kind of have to pass because the blob would just threaten too many points. And, yeah. I think at minimum you play like the Renfri's gang here.
Yeah, you might be struggling with your mulligans a bit. Having a second Mage Assassin, having another gang. And your Iris's companion is not too hot without Iris. And with most of the golds already there. Not worth pulling it out.
There's nothing worse than a tap into that.
Zap. That kinda sends a message.
Maybe it's just gonna go long round here.
Yeah. Iris being played for 6, and now the brick from hand might just send a message. Of course, it can still be Renfri gank next turn after seeing your opponent not committing hard, but Danirai just decides to take it into a long one. Has multiple locks.
Here's the thing, this Iris is not doing much now. And then this Iris's companions I don't think you keep here, because it's now random what it discards.
So yeah, Iris still in the graveyard. And the end of your turn. So she's still sitting there waiting, when will the time come? So you get an extra point from Renfri's gank and from Blightmaker, unless you for some reason decides to start from those.
History shall remember.
And even like the extra point from Blightmaker kinda doesn't matter, because the Mage Assassin will end up being killed by the blob anyways, I expect. We'll see how many bears Danirai is able to lock up here. Maybe this is why you should maybe you're on Siegfried in your pirates.
Secret stock rising fast. We've seen it play for some value occasionally, not every time though. So Danirai tries, but I don't think everyone is buying Secret's options at the moment. Not the best warrior here.
No, it's a lot of armor. But anyway, at least you get rid of the armor, the blob is a bit less bad now.
Yeah. And at least you get the second attack from the Broker warrior. Could have been even worse.
Yeah, I'm a bit surprised that Danirai actually decides to boost up the Ramon there, because yeah, you get it not like damaged anymore. But that kind of does give another opportunity for armor to be given when it does become damaged, and also is probably gonna be damaged by the blob, I guess. Okay, I guess the thought process here is when the blob is played, you'll be dealing with it immediately.
Yeah.
Because your locks are really just not under that much pressure against pirates. Like there's no Spark or no Sigurd or Knut to deal with. So yeah. Yes, then you just want everything to be armored to give the blob less value when it does get played.
Also, this Renfri list, of course, in and out of meta with the Masquerade Ball and Enslave 6 being played, but let's not forget the scary points it manages to put out, even if you well, unless you're playing against another Nilfgaard opponent who is not playing Renfri version, then you're most often just doomed. Against other decks, just your honest soldiers gameplay, and then Tris, Renfri, scary. But
It feels a bit awkward because you haven't actually drawn a sergeant here. So I wonder if like the Renfri of choice would be play a bronze, draw a card to try to get access to a sergeant. But also I'm not even that sure if you want to end up playing sergeant because of how Heatwave and Curse exists. Well, there's the curse on the 6-power unit. But that 6-power unit would have been boosted by Tris to become more like a 9-power unit anyways.
Yeah. So good melee row control is happening at the moment from Jockiichel. Not allowing any Tris value so far. So another Alba, denying the potential Bjorn Order click, but what to even discard in Purification.
Yeah, I think it's more likely that now the lock is just being played just because it doesn't really give much great stuff for like this damage of Jockiichel to deal with, and you're just gonna save the Vilgefortz to deal with the Svarblood when it's played. We're in free time.
Another portion of armor going to Ramon. Why not?
This time it feels a bit less bad because it's a bit
already
ironic,
done.
but in cards you don't really want things to become undamaged. At this point, maybe it is better to try to deny the serve. Okay.
So we
Yeah,
see
so play
set up
bronze,
to
draw a
10
card.
and play a card from your hand and look for the Nausicaa Sergeant is the second option.
Yeah.
Well, the first option taken, and the second one is to send the Ramon to 10.
I guess it's still better to play the Nausicaa. I guess the play is... I mean, if you boost the Nausicaa, it just gets heat waved, and that feels bad. Or
But
you boost the Ramon, and that would, ironically here, kind of be the better play. Because Jockiichel, I don't think, actually has the leaders to spare to kill something like a Sergeant, because these leaders are basically locked up, finishing the serve off.
Defeat them with hunger, crush them with thirst.
So I'm
Okay, not
surprised why
hitting
you take
armor.
Yeah, I feel like the Renfri's game would have been a little better here, because you play a little less into the blob, like just one less unit on your side of the board. However, maybe you're more just worried about other control tools being able to kill the Renfri's gang, which would play a bit worse, like Tris.
Quite the mean.
So the pool is a 4 for Solve it doesn't matter because second Squirrel and also the Havro are in the deck still. Also the Bloodthirst is kinda set up already. Most of it anyway.
You can hear my tale goodbye.
One the charge goes in. Don't really want No, like, yeah, you're not saying no to those extra points, even if you are wasting 1 damage from your leader. So no soldiers at the moment for the slave driver, so you need to slot into Renfri's gang and get one of those. And then still a heat wave question.
I'm having a bit of an existential crisis right now with the complete inability to do Sov maths and wondering if it's better hitting, like, going for a bigger Sov or using damage on other things instead.
Yes, just deny the trace value, I guess. Maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's way too much maths for my current brain, so here we go with the gang into...
You have to take Imperial Marine.
Yeah.
A pleasure to bleed you.
And you've seen the order of the cards, those are not getting shuffled, right?
Yeah.
So Marine should have gone to
also-
7, but
Yeah, a bit curious. Maybe just forgot, like, the exact order.
so.
Also, we do know that Danirai is actually playing 1 premium and 1 non-premium copy of each of the cards in this list.
But he
So it
didn't
does have
see
the
Nausicaa, so
Yeah.
he should have known exactly. And here we see the slave driver. Seems bad, but at the same time, it's a body for Trace. And well, this is almost full front row, consisting of Theodore 6s. So Chris, as I said, points are scary on this deck. Maybe killing some. It was 7-point game, right?
We're running a more conventional list with the old guard. The lead is really good into pirates. That's basically 10 points that they just can't deal with. And, unless you use a heat wave, but then you're pretty happy getting the heat wave out there.
Okay, so can pirates find anything to play on blue? We see the ships, Oniro, and get their thing in hand as well. Are you keeping the hand? Kinda want to get rid of the brick in round 1, and it's not only a brick, a pretty good value, or pretty bad value in the later rounds as well. If you have to weather a row with a Drakkar or something.
Yeah, so yeah, it's always risky, like using the last mulligan when you're running stuff like Tempest with quite a few bricks in your deck. But it does take it in Fence Verification, which would, I think, rather use offensively, like onto a location, and especially when both sides are running like a Svarblood, giving the opponent the extra points of the bear ends up mattering not that much. So you could use it early on this file, but I don't think that's what you want to do. Yeah. Instead, you play your own location.
Another aggressive start from Escape player in this series. Great
Not
sword.
a bad find.
Not getting answered immediately, and then it gets a chance to grow.
And might just get answered with another location.
Okay, so nobody cares
you go
about the
ship.
potential of having the order for round 3. There is round 1 to play, and
Yes.
there is nothing stopping players from committing to that one.
Yeah, and I think, as I mentioned, like, the last say is quite valuable. And I think that's why you see these K-Trolls coming out so early. I wonder if the last say is valuable enough you would end up committing a blob. Because like using one side using their blob and the other side having their own blob, I think could be quite a difference in points that could make up for a potential loss of last say. Only Jockiichel really has the question of would you like to commit blob this round? And going for the offensive verification makes me think that line is a bit more likely.
Yeah, that's that might be the first hint at it.
Yeah. Also, like blob is so good with the greatsword here as well.
So can take a 50-50 on the front row weather.
This Tempest time.
And
Lucky.
yeah, finds the value. Vial is of course on the board, order is ready, but that's not the order saving the melee ship, sadly.
No. But with how few units Jockiichel has actually played here, I don't think this ship has done a single ping.
Yeah. And the current ships are also armored, so they're kinda losing value, but not really.
Yeah, you see the mask stratagem being held here by Jockiichel. Again, I think it's just in case you play the blob, you don't want to have used your stratagem because that would completely negate the crows that the stratagem spawns. So instead, you just play a boat. I don't know if you actually want to kill the uncrate longship here right now because it would end up being a little bit awkward due to the Jakar ending up tanking the fog damage, which is actually bonus points because it hits the armor, which gets refreshed.
Yeah. So we see that the ship survives and has to die to the bad weather. Lost in this fog. But we also see the 6-point beast getting thrown into the graveyard.
Yeah.
So now the Soap only has squirrels to feast on.
Yeah.
Okay, now that there is another target for the weather to hit, do we see a leader charge as well?
I doubt it, because otherwise you
Yeah.
wouldn't have hit it with this boat.
No. Yeah, okay, he hit a 5. True. And that would have been activating the ship anyway. So pirates from blue at the moment. Well, committed location, but also got a location from the opponent. Played offensive verification and still are kinda in this round. So this Maxi
Your magic can't harm me. No magic can.
doesn't let the pirates out, of course, but yeah, as we've seen so far, Jockiichel. Okay, he clicked the stratagem, so I don't think we'll see this wall blood.
Yeah.
But like, if you have to take the heat wave,
Yeah, I think
do you?
look, I think you'd really like to have a heatwave saved in case Danirai decides to go all in on a Sigvald.
Yeah.
Because like if Sigvald ends up growing similar points to like a say Sov, then the curse kind of doesn't end up mattering as much, like answering the Sigvald. But I'm not sure like how else you really contest it. You could just maxi, but it's a bit too slow, I think, with this priest ticking. So instead you take the slash to answer the priest.
Yeah. So of course that's not a lot of tempo, but it prevents engine from continuing the works, and
I'm here to
you see Knut
swallow
here,
alone.
kinda cutting down the potential toll punish value.
So yeah, so staying ahead, and now this is actually quite awkward. I mean, Jockiichel could probably get out at least with a location click, and the probably actually force the pass if you were to do that, because this hand here from Danirai is not looking so hot. This Dwim is useless. This verification can be used for 10 points on your side of the board,
Yeah.
but totems are cards that I mean, there's actually an argument that totems don't matter as much in like later parts of the round, because if both sides are playing as Svarblood, then those extra units you're playing just end up sort of dying anyways.
So 10. Gwent doesn't take it.
No, but yeah, it's more so you want to ensure that you actually have the totem to use as the order. Like, ironically, the totem itself is more important than the bears it spawns by like a lot in this kind of matchup.
Wouldn't mind having something maybe less valuable at the moment. Both of players basically.
I wonder if you would play the right, like just for a Knut to get ahead here instead of the totem if you do see a pass. And I don't know, do you play the totem here to try to secure last say? Seems awkward if
Yeah,
like,
it's like last second decision by the looks of it.
yeah.
And Joski decides
What do you need?
to get out, and we do see Knut, see Grifa, so now there is less threats to deal with, but yeah, you also spent the heat wave already. So
Yeah.
you are in a possession of this Curse of Corruption. Also no armor whatsoever. Carried over between the rounds. Ships got some, and ships got plate. Bjorn, Terror, Justiana, cheating in the deck. At least you get to see what Maxi shows you here. And I guess that's a keep, right? You have an hero and you're fighting your golds, although yeah. Those golds without the armor not playing for insane
So
value.
Danirai-
On the other hand, maybe you don't want Justiana.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the worst. Actually, oh yeah, because it does so much damage without armor, it's not great. But, I mean, maybe you can use it to proc the opponent's bears too early. I don't know if that's, like, a line that you care about. Unfortunate draw there, finding the Dwim. Probably just, yeah, really trying to find, like, a few more specials, which would order Drakkar to find a lot more footing rather than this, like, sad Dwim and this Raging Bear, which, and Siegfried. Like, these kind of units which play for points don't do much really bad in a round with blobs just being flung from both sides.
Double blob, just
Traveling is an option,
blob
you
from
see.
both
One of the
sides.
better ones.
Kind of
I
easy.
don't even think you play the Dwim here. I'm pretty sure you just discard it. I think that was more correct. Don't give a chance for these pirates and ships to get armor. Don't give a chance for Serve to have more bloodthirst, that kind of stuff.
So what's Danirai's last play? What is he
Serve, right?
keeping just for the soul, right?
Yeah.
You cannot really... you can bait the COC on Sigvald, but yeah. It's not getting buffed up at all.
You also have last say, so you can sort of just have the Sigvald with bleeding just ticking down, and then only click on your final turn, because then the curse shouldn't actually get a chance to deal with the Sigvald. Yeah, I don't think curse even gets played in this round.
Yeah. So there is a proper warrior alternative from the Onira. So when the last say, would you say Danirai has it in the back? Even with the
I
bad
would think
cards
so.
he played.
I would think so. Like between the Sigvald and the Serve, I think this should be good for Danirai. Also, like the Onyof is such a better way to enable the Serve than the Onslaught is.
Yeah. Okay, so we've seen this Wallblood already played. That's a bomb about to explode at one moment. If the
Yeah.
damage is done.
I'm like, this is the thing, right? Yeah. Yeah, it's just a time bomb. This entire board is just one big time bomb waiting to blow up in a puff of like mushrooms turning into bears, I guess.
But
But yeah, the nice thing here is I'm also a bit surprised. I think I mean, there's an argument that you could have just heatwaved this Swellblood straight away because it is kind of a potential 4-point per turn engine as this round progresses. However, without bears on your side of the board, you kind of want to trigger your own blob to ensure that the opponent's board does get blown up here. And that's what we see now.
okay, and 18-18.
Yeah, nice and balanced.
I hope you guys counted the points before the explosion happened. I remember seeing somebody doing the puzzles on the Gwent subreddit, just showing the boards and asking people to predict what power, which abomination will be, and how many extras there will be.
Swellblood maths is too hard. I swear you need a maths degree to actually be able to do it, and I've not finished mine yet, so I'm not able to do so. But yeah, see the offensive Sigvald being used there, a little bit to play around the curse, I suppose, and also a little bit to just deal with the Swellblood, because it is a pretty nice engine. This Justiana would have also gotten another Bear Abomination onto Jockiichjel's side of the board. Yes, what is Nero going to be playing here? Probably just a Brookfile.
Yeah, I guess it's a Brook war. Has to hit it.
Lead it to
Well,
Nicely done.
so that's a Bloodthirst 2 being preserved, unless Danirai decides to like totem his own stuff.
Which I don't think is...
Yeah, he's
Really
like he's not getting rid of the Sigvald in this on this turn, so no reason if you cannot clear it. And even then, there is like Solf and Justiana.
Although you could use the totem on the Sigvald here, and then purify that additional bleeding with the Siegfried.
Wow, wow.
The order of the flame.
So I guess that whole turn was spent deciding whether you click the totem on Sigvald or not before using the Siegfried.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you have to Justiana and yeah, get all the pinks onto the 6 and the 2, but even then there is still are Fury Soap combo incoming, and you're kinda close on points at the moment. Okay, so first we'll see the Soap plate.
It makes sense. With no Purifier remaining, like you're hoping, I guess, that your Yusian is able to finish the scroll off to let you use your leader on other things. Also, you're less likely to use excess pings onto the Sove right now. And you also play a bit better into the heat wave.
Yeah.
Or just kill it straight up, sure.
Heat wave on a squirrel was just too scary.
Right.
No,
that's
no,
fair.
no. Was it?
I mean,
Would you?
I think it would have arguably been like a 6-point heat wave. Because you lose 2 points, but you also deny 8 points on the Death Wish, so yeah. Yeah, I think I think that made sense. Choose the leader there.
True, yeah, Danirai has the bloodthirst, has the bear.
The more I drink with our forefathers!
Could have used totem as well, but the totem kind of procs a Death Wish.
Wait, so is Danirai just saying he wins against Curse of Corruption
COC?
here anyways?
Well, what was it, 24? He goes to 23.
Cutting jar?
Because you kind of don't right now. That's
My blade.
or maybe, ooh. Actually, yeah. Okay, if the heat wave was less points, heat wave would have been 4 less points. So that could have still been a win for Jockiichel.
Yeah.
I think if Danirai took that in the other order. So I think it was also quite lucky though that none of the pings from the Justiana
Yeah.
ended up going into the Sigvald, which did actually give that kind of 4-point gap. But yeah, I think that was actually the correct line because Danirai would have lost.
Yeah, that heat wave would have been
Otherwise.
a very small one.
Yeah.
So, Danirai, congratulations, making
tied.
it to the final. Well, it ended up being a problem was for finding the COC, but you cannot also risk it too much, keeping it in hand.